I got the Spitfire Coleus. Spitfire Coleus, purple shield, peperomia. It's a type of peperomia. It's a little stringy green, kind of a succulent plant. It's Japanese. This is peperomia also from Japan, a Japanese plant. I was talking about passing the New Age metaphysical shop, and here in Portland, it has stones, gems, tarot reading. In their window, they're advertising to get a new stone and change your energy. And I liken that to a meta. Cast the first stone. First T-O-N-E, 0 on 1. That you would probably, to cast the first stone, you would need to be properly, ly, suffix for relationship, we need to probably be properly framed. D, framed. Deaf, framed. E-d-e-a, each, E, framed. E, framed. You would probably need to be properly framed. The date, the deaf, the each and every yet thing framed. Framed in completions. Cur you rent is the cur you rent is the cure. If you make it the cure, okay. Current estate. Conceive able. B-L-E-A-D. Debt to. Tooth the. H-E-R-E-A-L-L-A-T-E. Also, so it's real late, real elate, happiness, real Allah, that's another name for God in some countries who squat abroad. Broad is, we could call that the vast plain. It's also another name for a woman. And you put some hyphens in that or break it up, you've got a bro ad. I was thinking that where this is going is ideally, I'm going to get off my shtick. The shtick of I can't forge forgiving you for bullshitting on me. I can't forge it because it's obvious that you will only contort it because your money demands you to. So I'm getting at what I read, feeling tone, when I express this to you, is that you're losing your personal center, and I'm suggesting maybe you've never had a personal center, an honest personal center. But then I started the video because I thought this was an important point to capture. The honest personal center is the integrity again, of zero, innocence and reflection, that the competitive marketplace is not producing zero innocence and reflection, okay? It's producing a zero with hyphens around it, so that zero is always question. Well, what is X? Put some hyphens around it. That's the time. So the women's chromosome. So the women's always question in your framed doft to toft to tag, and y'all get the hyphen doft. Okay, y'all are venerable for being stupid on the len and bend it, hyphenated, and to be catched again, hyphenated, and so we're suggesting that you quite possibly you have an illusion of being framed among venerable people, but they're not showing up, honestly. Not on my capital, or not much less on my very initial. Choose one. I've got one. I've got all 26. 2-6. Now that's interesting. I'm getting off track. I will remind myself to get back on track here. With this visual I put in front of me, which was your tarot reading, when I talked about being framed. That to cast a stone, you would need to be framed properly. So 26 initials, every letter of the alphabet. I've got 26. Well, I was talking earlier about 666. If Turd, TU-RD, Richard McGilvery, who lives next to me, can abort and make things go missing, and he does this often. He has done this often in regards to me. That's why I ask him not to talk to me, but then I hear about how he's talking about me, and I'm like, you still make shit up. Well, it's conceivable he can do that. If he stands to abort and make things go missing, then he has no honest retort ever in his mind, okay? And he can make things up that seem conceivable to his time, but he's still not relating on the line, okay? I can read, I know what a word stands for, and yet he gets to speak tone on me, denying what I see. And that's what I mean. It's date rape, D-8-R-ape-D. Okay? Doffly. Doff to tell ye, he's the supper and the supersede. Put your hyphens in there. I'm simply saying, if you don't allow the time to stay, you have no capital to assay, which is to test the metal, the L over L, leaving delta, toe, a hat even, ho. So for me, it's conceivable that I see in him, he makes things go missing, and then he builds bullshit on top of it. You know, I've expressed this before. If you need me to lay out the land, I will. Specific instances where he fills in the gaps that he made go missing. Okay. And it's no different with the law-st. They have no honest review. R-E-V-I, vi, rise to the challenge. E-W-E. They have no honest review among them. It's not forced into a container of doff to toff. For no reason your money isn't virtue because you haven't thought it through even to. In process and product through. That would be true to endow E-I-T As you. As you, as Sue. As Sue, your sister. Rich wrote, Sharon wrote, Sue wrote. Okay? These things are not by rote, R-O-T-E, commonly, W with hyphen, R-O-T-E. So, it's very conceivable if okay, so I was talking about 666. 26, I read online somewhere, okay, it's stuck in here now, that the Christ was thought to be a 26 day, a 268. Probably gleaned that information from somewhere along the numerology lines. So an 8 life path composed of a 2-6 day, and you, Rich, wrote, are an 8 life path composed of a 2-6 day. I talked about 666. My social security number, the last 4 digits are 6660. And with numerology, I am born on a 6th day and a 6 day, 6 attitude, 9 life path, which is basically a 6 turned upside down. I'm all the creative numbers. The creative numbers are 369. I have every one of those, and I have a 369, 1, 2, 3. What else? Sharon also has 6. Same placement as mine in the approach, the attitude. And what we know about 6s from numerology is 6s are natural managers. If I recall, they're magnetic. If they don't have something to manage, they don't know what to do with themselves. I like to think that I do, and it's not always just taking a lovely nap, but try not to get off track and off track and off track. The 666, if you're a bunch of hyphens in a Bible-bled DOF context of 2 dudes speaking to each other, you're not actually relating. And we can see Richard McGilvery standing to a board to make things go missing, then he can freely retort in his min mind, doffed. With no honest review among him has he ever sought or taught. Toft. Ta, get, the ag, get oft. He's not doing any vetting here. He's passing doft. To be everywhere as were. So he can reclaim it. Ta, gain, doft, to do toft. Okay? (666) S-I-C sounds like C. It is also yes in Spanish. Span, even the dish. Dish your head. Could it be X is the Roman numeral 10, 1 and 0? It's the woman's chromosome on your DNA ladder spiral exchange. We're not really exchanging. Dactyly. It's never happened yet. couldn't, if using Richard McGillivray and all his obviousness -t, if he makes things go missing and then fills in the gap malfeasantly, your 666 is d-evile-e-d. You're staging the devil in what you hyphenated heed, because you passated doft as your steed, you also peed, hyphenated. And why? Because you don't stand for any yet. T-h-i-n-n-g-e. Any tin, your money. Any ting, sound of glasses. Any hinge, your mouth. In the same thing, you tinge your GED. Okay? It's not honest. You're not teaching yourself to be honest. No matter what's out there, okay? You're not relating fair and square. What else? So 666, we take that out of your frame doft to toft, who can't conceive, able, B-L-E-A-D, evenly, can't do it. We take that out of that, we reduce its stigma. And we see it for what it is, a hexagon. Right now, we have, which isn't a hexagon the shape of the honeybee? Check my reference, I think it is hexagon. What's curious is also, getting off track, I'll try to remember to get back on track. The Walter Faith jewelry that I like is based on a hexagon, but it's taking these crest shapes, and then if you look down on them, it's that shape. I think that's one of the reasons I like it, because I'm like, well, I have worked with this shape several times over. If it's not priming, base coat, glaze, toning, putting little dust particles in it. Yes, I manufacture dust and pores into my faux finishing. Prior to that, articulating a radius round and round, sanding every edge. I'm saying, I know this shape inside and out. I have visited it and turned it and angled it and applied, and so hexagon. We have right now T-H-E-A-G-O-N-E-D. Your existing SE-X, SE-X, SE-X. You're trigging and rigging a triad, all hyphenated, to exist in time. And this is not appropriate to die, D-I, that's to, vine. Again, we only have thieving speaking to each other, would be my contention, considering Bible blood doft, and that's two dudes, and we can see that working even today in the law-st. Okay, so I expressed earlier my venue in the machine shop, you know, the perp hides at church and tags his Jewish ag to speak on me, putting words in my mouth so they can be -re-ad, doft to toft, as they well -d please and appease -d. So what else? Six, we can reconstitute that in an honest framework. Seen, not S-C-E-N-E, but S-E-E-N, seen for seeking, IT. Seeking the kit, seeking K-I-T. Seeking the K, nigh, height, T. Time. For completion, not competition, thief-end. And what else? So we got 666, we've got hexagon. It's really just talking about trigging and rigging in time for completion. And stealing back the show and the hoe. The spade, the G-R-A-V-E-L. I gave, L-D. I gave the Av. I gave the grave with my same spade, and I gave the gavel and the gravel and the ravel. Okay. You know, so I think I've diminished the stigma enough, at least, to consider a different lens and a different talent and a different tail and a different talent and tail. LB, every pound bent. The has, ass, to the swell, swelled, ass swelled, okay? So let's see, back to loss of personal center. So when I talked about the framework, maybe you've not ever existed on a framework, because I'm talking about, you know, being on the right frame, being framed versus when I go out there, I'm framed. I'm framed. Give me two fucking merry weeds, like the two last night. You know, they're forging their own witness. You know, they start with an action of a lie, and this can be sourced back. They went into a covered parking area. They parked in my spot. There's a sign in the covered parking area. I pointed that out to them. They said, we didn't see that, we were over there. Well, you see in my video, I go through the covered parking area, I go through the foyer, and there's another foyer, and they're standing outside the entrance. There is not a no parking sign near the entrance, the pedestrian entrance, where your car will not fit. It is where you stand to put your key fob to get inside, okay? They said, well, we were over there, we didn't see the sign. I'm saying, when you're standing at the entrance, that's not where the sign is, but you drove the car in, B-h-d. You drove the car in, B-I-T-. By, again, is two, the same T time. C-H, you hitched your head, -D, okay? You drove your car in. Now, you drove it in and you didn't look around. Right there, you didn't pay attention to be sound, okay? So you've already prefaced a lie with your action, and now you covered it up to say, oh, we didn't see it because we were over there. I'm like, you were over there because you had to go find me because now I blocked you in. And I knew that was going to happen. And I was broadcasting. I came up here and just like, fuck, now I have to wait for, they're going to have to go find me. I blocked him in, but you're going to have to find me. And how they're going to find me, I'm like, they're going to go, Richard's not here yet. They're going to find me through Richard. And that's what happened. Okay. And Richard informed them that I was crazy and insane and psychotic or something along that vein. Okay, because they related that back to me. In the video, I'm like, Richard, I see you. You informed them, again, with what you stand to abort, you make it go missing so that you can serve your own retort without anyone to give you an honest review. I had the video earlier in the art room where I have asked him not to talk to me several times, and so now he's doing bullshit things. And what did he say? Oh yeah, so now I'm ugly. So he gets to fill in the gaps he makes any goddamn I'm it way. Sway and weigh and say. Okay, so it's very obvious to see. I already, it's very peculiar. Maybe it's not very peculiar. I saw the car in my place. I'm like, fuck. I value my time. Now I have to wait on someone to get back to me. I made it. I backed right up. We had nowhere to go, and I did that on purpose. You infringed on my ability to embrace my time for me. You're going to have to come find me. And we're going to undo this. Because now I'm infringing on your time, not malfeasantly, but judiciously. You need to think ahead. And don't spin me bullshit with your witness -t. Don't do it. That's not acceptable here. So I did it on purpose. I came up here fucking swearing. I had my new plants. I think I showed them. And I was over there bitching about fucking just give me a twofer. Give me two for fucking Mary Weeds. And who shows up? Two fucking Mary Weeds. Okay? Why did I know I was a female? Because I looked in the car and I saw the puka shells hanging off the rearview mirror with, I think they had a little pretty pink edge on them. I was like, fucking Mary Weeds. Fucking slap, stick, dick girls. I knew it was a girl at the very least. I don't know what I'm doing. Not good enough. I can't hear you. That's not good enough either. I don't understand why you're so mad. Maybe it's because you're not hearing me when I speak. I am not the value of you. So she's standing there telling me I'm rude as she's parked in my parking lot. Fails to see the sign. I didn't see that. I was standing over there. D-flex, which is D-flex is also put a little reflect in there too, all hyphenated. And I'm like, this is, and then her chime, her witness -t, starts gratiating, D-G, degratio and degratiating tone on me when I can read. I can read. So why is it I can read and you can't write on the line to conceive, able, L-E-A-D? And you would deny me my C-D, my seed, for my scene, S-E-E-N-D. You would deny me. And you would constantly make shit up. So your first lie was the action. For no reason. You weren't paying attention. You're paying attention thieving so you can slack and make shit up. And I'm saying you're in the wrong parking space for that hat. And that tat. It's not your K-N-O-T. Because that K-N-O-T takes knowledge. K-N-O-W-E-L-L, Noel, I Noel, the L, the D-G-E-D, I Noel. So it takes that, and I don't see anyone ahead of me that has that. I'm giving you the opportunity on Patreon. You'll get a bank seat account in your name, but basically, I'm informing you just the same. it would seem you can't afford an honest dime attached to your name. So if you're not going to write just the same, you shouldn't be speaking in even in the vein, in E vein. It's not your right. It's not your rig height as reason and desire in life even. It's not your writ, W-R-I-T-E. And what else? So, getting off track a wee bit. It's all a fucking track, isn't it? I go in circles. I used to say, because I was a track athlete, I'm proficient in running in circles. And what I can tell you, to be proficient in running in circles, you need to know motivationally how to run through the line. What makes me a good athlete? With my facility. I'm not saying I've got the 5th gear, but I've got 4. I know that. Is the mentality. When people are approaching the line, they might slow down. I'm almost there. How do you keep that motivation? The finish line is not your fucking finish. Okay? You run beyond it. And then your whole life becomes a living process in being in your desire. And if you're anxiously engaged in your desire, that you would conspire, that you would aspire, that you would sire. See? R-E, I'm regarding, yes. You are well versed in what is not, on what is taxing your energy without bringing a value to gear the ear earth, the head, okay? You know it. You know it inherently. Like, what the fuck is that shit? Oh, thanks for that fucking nonsense. I see you're having a hard time getting a handle on your life. Seems to me you need a real tit in residence. But you can't afford it, can you? So, again, I'm doing the work for you, for two. So it's getting off track. I'm trying to decide what track to get back on. We talked 666, hexagon, triggering and rigging the time without hyphens in the proper frame. Die, vine. To have the right people talking one-on-one. Because that's not happening. It's not happening dactyly either. T, U, B, O, N, E, D. To be the trial balance, or tuberculosis if you can only conceive cancer without ever seeing the answer, because you're not the answer. So you're passing on die, D-I, that's 2, hyphen E's, hyphen D. To assay and stay, hyphenated with you, and test that as your meta, hyphen LL, hyphen E. Leavened, hyphen dudes. Dudes spur suits. Dudes purse you wet too. Put your hyphens in there anywhere you well like. You well liked and licked toft. So it's getting at the loss of personal center that I sense you feel when I say you're not in the right frame, that you need to be framed instead of framed. Too equally and evenly came, and camel humping umping he-ven. So the zero cannot be manufactured in the competitive marketplace for no reason to ever honestly relate. The competitive marketplace is a suffrage of id-t-h-s testate, to stay id-t-h, so id-t-h can be loved by God, which is in id-t-h's mind, and his God is id-t-h as he is. His tin is inclined. This is all made up. Whether it's M-A-D-E, it's M-A-I-D hyphen. Okay? You, the maid, as a woman, are made dupe and dap to be milked and ilked for doth that would suck to milk and ilk you to get toffed, and in the process is passing you doffed. Whether you're a sister, a mother, a child, he is marrying you to wed doffed. Okay? And toft is doffed, because toft has to relate to doft to keep his apparently money aloft. The competitive marketplace is not manufacturing a zero, so that's why I can maintain again aborting to go missing, and to fill in the gaps thief end, to tool a land that's also bend, every pound bend, hyphenated, and standing for deaf competition, thief end. So everyone has an ID, an identity, but it's for no reason. There's no one to follow through with, even vent. Honestly, T, tone, hone. What else? I'm suggesting that there's a lot of integrity in harnessing a zero. And C-H-E-A-R-O-D-E. If you're self-manufacturing, self-sought, self-taught, ought, your CH here, hero, road, is eroding, but you can manufacture more in the same direction, which is for completion on my frame, and which is for competition on the same amens thief end frame. So please understand, you're compelled to your directional cell. Okay, whether that's S-E-L-L, C-E-L-L. You're compelled because you've already sold. And if you build up a clientele and you build up overhead of big towers, then you're also your overhead is compelled to uphold you well and weld. So I wanted to address your loss of personal center when I'm saying you're on the wrong frame. That it may well be where I'm trying to turn my fantastic ability to shit and get agreed with no doff to toft attached, even legally. You can't take me to court for my belief in Eve, even, as my go odd, and my art, a route that I am remarking in. So, what else? In fact, you're already contempt of court before Eve even arrives, because you're not courting honestly right here on the line. Premise is already provided. VI, I challenged and I vied, ID. And what I can see is you're not the heir. If you dow with war, you're not the heir. You make parts for war, you're not the heir. I don't care if you go to church and you believe in God, you're fucking not the heir and you're not capable right here. Your relationship is a sham. Kevin Stein. I already told you that. You didn't hear me last time, did you? What else? What you have for a wife and relationship is you have insolence. Put some hyphens in that. That's what you have. That's what you have. That's what you have havened, debt to the grave. The G-R-A-V-E-L-D. So, what else? I get off my shtick of being like, I can't forgive you because you never gave. What does that leave me with? It leads me to look at your vision. I expressed in the beginning, your design, you have your universal principles in it, in your image. The image speaks, okay? So it's looking at tooling 0, okay? My discontent is that it's still in the Tao with war, calling that aware, for hyphens to restore, okay? But on principle, that you would harbor and arbor devotion's score and core and O-R-E, even more, even name, even amor, even amort. Mort is the sound of the hunt. Think of it as death. You've squared and queried to capture your prey. No, I believe in your 0. Okay, but I do not believe in the 0 of the 2 dipshits of Maryweed downstairs the other night. Why? Because of your first action, you deflected and reflected and stood on to tool your own witness. You stood on me to tool a witness, to lend and bend it. And then you called in the law to reinforce IT. To send it as you've already spent it. You've spent your tit, okay? Your tit for tat. It can't go any farther than the hat that hatched it. Can't. And I'm letting you know that because it's my right. Rig height, right as reason, as desire in life, even. Faith, facting my H, fate, my H, my faith, my spirituality, my desire. These are not attributes that are yours because you're not conceive able. L-E-A-D. You're not. And I'm going to continue to let you know that. Why? I don't want you parking in my parking spot ever again. And I don't want you tooling one godforsaken lie after another on me, thief end. It's not what I'm here for. To rescore your core and your chord. Put an H in that too. Your music is in time. Is in time too. So for what it's worth, as much as I can, I believe in your zero. I still believe in your zero now. I simply don't believe in the Tao with war -t. I believe in the significance of tooling a zero in innocence, and at the very least, I'm doing that for me. For form and forum. A fora is the plural of forum. Take it outside. We're courting outside. Okay? So for me, please understand that the chain of com, man, -d, doft to toft, these Pip and Prig heights, they called Officer Mike over here, and while I can at least surfacely regard him as, you know what, all things considered, you handled that well. Thanks for not selling me your fucking nail, because I would be fucking feeding it back to you. From a different timetable to be exponential. Touche and douche, okay? Two. So, the law -st, it's the same fucking me, one eye. Conceivable L-E-A-D. Dead to conceive, able, L-E-A-D. Dead to tower, here, R-E-A-D. B-R-E-A-D. D-O hyphen W hyphen H hyphen T hyphen. You can only bring and ring in. I'll allow myself to introduce me even. You're not p-vend. You have no right to be upset with your malfeasant emotions you never spent or sent a value to represent. In the time given, face to face, on the time, on the line that still stands with no efface, I do not need your apology to relate. I need you to pay attention to date. Okay. Pay attention to date, and you'll stop spinning lie after lie and tooling a witness on your I that's hyphenated, in which you gather your ID from, and your false sell the L and lie the I emotions for no reason. You don't desire even. You're not capable even. You do not desire even. You make up shit to sound reasonable because you can string grammar together that sounds legible, okay? It's missing content. Content headness. And this is not my problemish shed with hyphens. It's not my problem. It's not my problemish hyphen D. It's not mine. And you need to stop to hyphen with we hyphen re to tow we to tower inn tower rain in hyphen G grace and gravity. Oh really? Now who's not really connected to reality? It was said to be stay id hyphen. It was said that I'm psychotic. That's by DMS standards because I have a psych degree. So tell me what's your frame and I'll let you in a little more information that your brain didn't contain when you spouted that. I'm presuming, let's take it to the authorities like you would call the police. So the psychiatrist, the psychologist uses the diagnostic statistics manual to define your fucking disease that you spouted out your mouth on me, that I'm psychotic. Psychotic is not being connected in reality. You're not your word. You don't know what it means. You do not allow me to see a word and represent it among the thieves. You're not your word. You never marked to be D, serve D, the date for completion. You never marked. This is not your value of heart or hearth and hearth the head. By desire, ye ear art, the time to conceive, able, L-E-A-D. This is not your time. It's my time. You do not bring divine. At any given time, you squatted tone on me, and that's not acceptable here. And what else? You're simply feeding me an opportunity to reverse it, and now you get to wear your self-representation there, as with anywhere, because you can't buy it back from the law. Oh, please give me vulnerability back. No, no, no. You shit hyphenated shit on me. You get to wear it, and the law is not going to save you. Neither is your go odd doff to toot toft. And that is just. Don't bring me your bullshit. I'm not here to represent your tit, okay? Your tit that you have to toss to get traction, to get toft, to toot toft. Your will is ill, okay? It's not my problem. It's not my problemish hyphen D. You do not care about me. If you do not care about me, you do not care evenly. You do not care about any suffix of relationship. In all honesty, you shouldn't breed. Because you're just doing it to gain vain, V-A-I-N, traction. To seem that you were rewarding. You are the reward and you are rewarding. Fortune 8. T-E-L-L-E-Y-E. What else? What That light's not turning on. I don't know why. It's so weird. That light should be on. I'll figure that out soon enough. Trying to think what else I need to put up. Essentially, at some point, your zero is going to have to be tested. Because, like I said, you're only a zero because I'm reflecting on you. At the very least, you're choosing that position for the time being. But in building this parallax, we can see that the man's frame in the patriarchal male lineage of Christ, the male God in Christ, and the law-st, the patriarchy, what is ordinarily zero that fills in the gaps is silent. See, I lent. You didn't actually lend a zero. You lent foreseen negligence to get hyphenated pass, ass, -t. That's the value of turd, two-road, with hyphens, that lives next to me, of standing to abort, make things go missing. He has carried with him no honest retort, and he can make whatever hyphenated shit tup he wants, and make it sound conceivable lead enough. For his head, he brought. But he's not sought the head of the sender that would be ought. A-U-G-H-T is zero. And he is not sought or taught, and he does not seek. I-T. Seek I-T, seek K-T. He does not seek it, but he wants the value. Look at me, I'm the value. I'm standing here to frame you lovely women and be something, to be some met T, some met, some sustainable, real, valuable, contributing T-H-I-N-N-G-E-D. Your tin, your hinge, your ting, your tinge, your thing. Some met thing. No, he's not that. Okay. He's a vet. All right. The law condones war. It parts with ID, with war. It's me, one eye. Okay? Law-st, patriarchy for no reason. None of you are the heir among the means that would actually see, to seem, to seek, to sought, to taught yourself right here, right now, be brought and bow height. Endow with what woo would, without hyphens. Stop raping nature, stop raping women. To squat oft. Okay, what else? Yes, I believe in the value of zero as much as I can see it from you, okay? I don't believe endowing it through the war, because then to me, it does not have follow through. It still has hyphenated con, vi, ct, the city, ion, hyphen d. Main etude, de, la, with where? With r. A-M-E-W-E. Ream you? The mew is a place where is the sound a cat makes. It's the place where eagles go to molt. What else? Kind of a belly ache. I don't know why. Maybe it's the coffee. What else do I need to get out there? For me, I think where this is tending and trending is the conceivable needs to mark 0 on 1. That's crossing. That's the cross to get across time, even. Because the competitive marketplace was never meant to be even, no matter what you say. No matter what you say, it's down with war. It's turning time and money into time and money to restore the sore. Okay. And the S hyphen word, your sword, you cut with, you're forcing with your force hyphen seen hyphen in hyphen d, date to compete for no reason. You're forcing me to go missing as one. You're displacing me so that you can have twofer. Twofer fun, F hyphen T hyphen fun, ton, tune, tunnel, put your hyphens in there. Tunnel led do hyphen dudes. Dudes pursuit, okay? The only people that are not traditionally conceived as thieves is the people that are mediating for, we gotta crack down on those criminals, okay? That positioning, so they can point the hyphenated finger away because they're not the ID for reality. So the hyphenated finger doesn't get pointed at them. And the people in church too, that's where the thieves go. So they can point the hyphenated finger away and not have it pointed at them. It's just like I work in a lice clinic. We apply heat. We start at the nape of the neck and go up. If you got a lot of bugs, where do they go? They all go scrambling towards the crown. Okay, I find a lot of meta in that. I get the biggest scoop with my lice comb at the crown. I don't care where the person tells me, oh, I got this. They're all behind my ears in traditional places, you know, where you can't hear them. After I apply heat, the biggest scoop of bugs, they all migrated to the crown. It happens. That's a pattern over and over again. They can't see me here. Praise God. My God is soft and loves me this way. No. Eve-even is not going to save you for no reason. Thief-end. You can choose to save yourself, or you can remain doffed as you want to, but you get to be seen for it now. If you prefer to stand doffed, hyphenated, fine. I'm going to stop this video because